Life of Agony hail from Brooklyn in New York, and last year released their acclaimed debut album, River Runs Red.
That record basically exploded out of the gate and put the band on the map overnight.
The band's style is rooted in the hardcore scene of their home city.
Life of Agony, badass band.
One of my all-time favorite bands, actually.
They were destined to do great things, and they whole career up.
There was this mysterious singer that had disappeared.
We've been best friends our whole life. That's real family. Keith Caputo was a very angry, closed-up type of person.
What's the matter, Keith?
I was an introvert. I didn't want people looking at me.
There's a lot of scary times.
And everybody was violent.
It was chaos.
These are all lost years. You can't get them back.
He didn't know Mother overdosed on the couch.
My poor mother, she didn't get to live.
He didn't know that her father was a drug addict.
Pulling needles out of his hand.
It was horrific.
And those things affected me personally because we were so close.
That aggression, you got it out through the music.
We could feel the momentum of the band just growing and growing.
It was frightening, overwhelming, and that all went away in one day.
Keith left the band.
There is no Keith. I knew this femininity was raging. I didn't want anyone else to see it.
All the metal sites jumped on the news.
There's a lot of people that will never get it.
Stop looking at me like I'm a freak.
I'm transsexual, completely proud of it.
There's a vibration that they're giving off on those records that just connect with people.
That connection is what Life of Agony is all about.
It's impacted people's lives. It feels kind of cosmic.
Clank your chains and count your change. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles live from La Ciudad de Nueva York. What's going on, everybody around the world? I've been around the world. What is going on? What's happening in Scotland? There you go. Shout out to the stinging, yeah. Greetings from Belfast. What's going on in Belfast? You know, Debo. What's going on, Debo? Shouting out. It is Sunday shout out day. Got to shout out Debo and Lee and everybody up in New York Hardcore Comics. Our first sponsor in the gate, you know. So, yo, Scott Earth, man. Did you see you yesterday? Were you at the Black and Blue Bowl yesterday, bro? Bruh? You at the Black and Blue Bowl? You know? What's going on in London, Andy? Holding it down. Yo, what is this? What is this? A London convention on the show? Come on now. Volt, what's going on in London, man? The London people, man, you know? Come around. Wait, whoa. Now for something completely different. Greetings from Belgrade. What's up, Novak? How are you, man? Good to see everybody. Shouting out the Front Rail crew. There you go. Gallery on Main. #Front Rail Crew. There you go. Chris Hoffman, what's up, brother? I hope you're feeling better, dude. You know, thinking of you. Boy, our London game is strong today. That's for sure, man. That's cool, man. Good. Northern Ireland, Kentucky. Thank God. Come on now. South's going to do it again. What's up, Kentucky? All right. Is that right, Joe Frank? You've been looking forward to this one? Good. I've been looking forward to this one too. And I got my, as you can see, I got my computer back, you know. Allentown, come on now. Airport Music Hall, come on now. Always a good time in Allentown, you know. Poland border town. Yeah, what's going on, bro? Oh, who's feeling my Kiev hardcore shirt, right? Rocking my Kiev hardcore shirt today. It was a gift from Gene from Gogo Bardello. So there you go. Meanwhile, speaking of hard, what's up?
What's up? What's up? Good morning.
Is that a lump on your head?
I got a nice lump. Yeah, I got a souvenir boot in the head yesterday during Agnostic Front.
Is that right?
And it was worth every second. It really was. And
you caught you caught one, huh?
I caught it like I saw it coming at my camera, and I pulled the camera down and stuck my head out at it. The guy caught me.
Did you brace for impact?
Well, he probably broke his foot on my melon, but that's about it. You know, but it was awesome. It was actually yesterday was a really, really great day all together, all kinds of stuff going on in our little hardcore world. But Roger, seeing Roger's face yesterday after everything he's been through, just one of the most awesome parts of the day. And
I'm going to go there. You took this shot yesterday of me and there you go.
There we go.
This is a shot of me, Paul Bearer from Sheer Terror, and 3/4 of Agnostic Front Victim in Pain lineup. What? Come on now. That's Vinny Stigma on the left, my old friend Roger Moret, Paulie from Sheer Terror, and on the right that is Rob Kabula. You know, so that's the old time crew right there. You know.
Yeah, I have so many more pictures. And when next we meet, we'll go through more black and blue shots for sure. I'm still actually doing them now.
When next we meet.
When we meet again. But in the meantime,
right,
I want to shout out one of our other photographers yesterday did an exhibition. Tim Daly did an exhibition called Rotten to the Apple at the old C Squat. And with a bunch of other like local photographers and stuff. And there he is. That's our man right there. And you might not be able to see it, but I could see Drew Stone right in there in the picture closest to his head.
Really?
And yeah, you're in. I'm pointing like you could see where my finger is. There's a shot from the A7 of there with you singing, and you could see a bunch of our friends in there.
Cool.
And Timmy she's got some phenomenal work, and it was really cool.
Chris Andrews says, "I see Rat Bones." I think that's.
Oh yeah, there he is, right in the top corner.
Yep. I gotta check that out.
That was really cool. Actually, Rat Bones' son was stage diving and floating all over the crowd last night.
Really?
Yeah, he's taking over.
Little Luke?
Yeah. But
but
then after I left the C Squat, I made my way over to Generation Records because we had a visit from our Boston friends, and Nancy Burrell came out to do a reading and sign some books, and she brought out the Women of the Pit with her, and that was another fun part of the day, building up to the Black and Blue Ball.
Here's a shot of Nancy Burrell from yesterday and Mr. Wolf, the Mr. Wolf of the New York hardcore scene.
Oh yeah,
there he is, Larry Kelly, Mr. Wolf. So,
Larry is everywhere. He's like an important piece of the engine,
Yo, shouting out Tommy Conan, what's up, bro? Out in Jersey. Come on now. Finally made it back to the show, huh? So, yeah, there's Mr. Wolf, Larry Kelly, and wait, you sent me a couple others, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, here's a cool one, man. This was great. Musical accompaniment by Kate 108, and that was cool.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah,
she's so cool. And the cool thing was there were pictures of Kate with 108 from another photographer at the exhibition I was at. So
wow,
everything was kind of like puzzle piecing its way towards Brooklyn yesterday.
I gotta get Vic from 108 on the show.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, Vic was in the band with Zach De La Roche before 108, right?
Oh, I was Inside Out.
Inside Out, right? Here's wait, hold on, let me put this up. This I gotta get the Women in the Pit grenade up there. Hold on, there it is. before we put the big, this is part of the crew that was,
Oh yeah, look at that. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, I like doing events with them.
They're fun.
You know?
They're all good people. They're all fun. And
Yep.
there's Lori Dawn up front there, and Danielle, and there's Liza.
Danielle LePage, who sang
Yep.
for Blood, old school New York, A7 right there. Of course, Nancy Burrill in the middle there. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great day. It was a nonstop.
It was a nice event. You know what it was like? I moderated it. It was like doing this show, but like in front of people. It's basically what it felt like,
Live from New York.
Live from, Generation Records.
I was hoping
and like, listen, I cheated. I don't know if it's like I cheated, but I went back and watched the show I did with her and just took all those notes and just.
Well, it's like stealing answers from yourself, though. That's not bad.
Listen, come on. Like Zappa said, there's only one idea, and everything's it's only been one original idea, and everything's been a variation of that,
I was really hoping to see Al Burrill. I was hoping he'd come.
Al Burrill doesn't travel well these days. Al Burrill's not going anywhere. But hey, while we're at it, let's talk about the next couple of shows before we bring our guests on.
We got some big ones here.
I hope you all will forgive me. There is no show on Wednesday, and believe it or not, this is the first time in over 2 years there's no show on Sunday either. This Wednesday, I am down in Washington, D.C. at a film festival screening my new film, and a week from today is a Bowery Electric show. So that said, we will be back Wednesday, May 25th with Pete and Mei-Ling Kohler, and talking about their husband-wife relationship, some sick of it all stuff. She's a guitar tech and all that. I just saw them both yesterday at the Bowl. So we'll be back with that Wednesday, May 25th, followed by the Sunday, Greg Hetson from Circle Joikes, Bad Religion and Red Cross. Then
that's
Wednesday,
going to be a good one.
For sure. Then Wednesday, June 1st, a side trip show, a guy that is in my new film, and I've said this before, a very special individual. Tune into the show. Laser Lloyd will be on the show. And then, of course, how appropriate to be followed by the ruler of hell, swallower of souls, the creator of rock and roll, Satan will be on the show. Hail. All
a hell of a guy.
Love that guy. Hell of a guy. Satan will be I know Satan's coming up. We're going to talk about it all. Sympathy for the devil, Highway to Hell,
I like that Paulie said, can't wait to meet Satan again.
Right. Yep. Absolutely. So that said, man, is that it?
Yeah.
All right, good.
I'm excited for this one. I love these guys. This is one of like the best bands that ever walked the earth. And the movie is spectacular. So I'm real excited to speak to Lee and to Alan Joy. This is going to be awesome.
Hey, baby, if you're excited, I'm excited.
I'm excited.
All right?
I'm excited. And you know what? I have my sweet baby Java with me.
Ugh. The shit you guys drink, man. All right, bro. I'll talk to you in a bit. That's here comes that boot again.
No.
All right, I'll talk to you in a bit. That's right, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, and we are sponsored by. Who are we sponsored by? Organic Grill, the Texas Silver Rush, DTFM Vinyl Distro, Generation Records, 126 Hardcore Clothing, Grunge and Grime Soap Company, and New York Hardcore Comics. They opened their doors in 2013, selling comic books, punk rock and hardcore memorabilia, toys, statues, skateboard decks, tapes, vinyl, and all things horror. We love helping bands push their demos and new tracks, so please stop by and drop off your new music. We have in-store events like Magic the Gathering and Warhammer tournaments, plus meet and greets with bands and some live performances. Open 7 days a week and shipping worldwide. Find us online through Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and eBay. Located at 117 Main Street, lovely Dobbs Ferry, New York. www.newyorkhardcorecomics.com. Come on now, Chacho's Tacos. Located in Corpus Christi, Texas, Chacho's Tacos opened their doors in 2001, home of the almighty Chacho's Taco. They cook up an incredible home-style Tex-Mex food, and this month they're celebrating their 21st anniversary. Goddamn electric. They have been supporting underground music since the beginning. In their own words, we ain't stopping anytime soon. Touring bands that play Corpus Christi swing by and get a home-cooked meal at Chacho's Tacos. We got you. The underground scene will never die. Please follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. That said, let's bring our guest on. Let's get our guest on. Let's clear the deck. What the heck? Today's guest is a filmmaker hailing from London, England. For 11 years, he has run Firebelly Films and has worked on projects for Neil Young, The Cure, The, Roger Daltrey, and many more. Here today to talk about the Life of Agony documentary he directed, The Sound of Scars, please welcome, coming at us from Margate, Kent in the UK, Mr. Lee Brooks. Brother!
Hey, you all right, Drew?
How are you, man?
Good, man. Thanks for having me on. I'm honored to be on the Hardcore Chronicles.
My pleasure. You know, I'm always excited to have a fellow independent filmmaker on the show. You know,
yeah,
we're kindred spirits, right?
Yeah, indeed.
I know how you have suffered, my friend.
Daily.
Right. Did you have fun clearing all that shit for this film?
Yeah, apart from the clip that I just found out was yours.
Yeah, right. How about that?
Oh my God! Yeah, definitely. That's one for the archive there. Definitely.
We'll circle back to that, but yeah. I mean, listen. I mean, when I did the Ilago film, it took me a year. I spent a year, clearing stuff. A year of my life was spent. Whose photo is this? Track it down. Where is it? Pay for payment or not?
Yeah.
You know, if somebody was like being outrageous, the photo. We got to find another one. And that music clearance makes you want to throw yourself off a bridge, man.
Yeah, I'll vouch for that. When we first got it, knowing what I know now, I would have done the music clearances first. I would have started that right at the beginning. Because by the time we actually got to do the music clearances, we had, there was like 27, 28 songs in there. I think more. There was like Psychic TV was in there. We had a Biohazard track.
Psychic TV? What was Psychic? Wow.
So yeah, we had loads of different bits and bobs in there. And when the first money came, when you get the first round of clearances and they're like, we want this amount. And then that's the same with the masters. You're like, fuck that. I can't go down that road. So yeah, we had to start getting a bit creative with what.
Yeah, I mean, you swap stuff out, right?
Yeah. Well, the good thing is because Mina wrote, most of the score in there as well. So there was a trove of stuff that she was working on. So the fact that even the score comes from a place of direct experience kind of really, really helped out on that as well.
Yeah, I the thing I could just speak for myself in my experience as a filmmaker is having done a couple of them, going into it, you don't want to put anything in the film that's going to be a friggin' nightmare to clear.
Yeah, I know. But it's amazing how quickly when that money comes in, how quickly you can detach from that track.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
There's $2,000 saved straight away.
For sure. And like when I did the Ilago film, it's like, yo, Metallica. Like, really? Are we gonna really try to clear Metallica for this film? Well, that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'd rather spend that money on, about 30 other things than clear 10 seconds of a Metallica track.
Yeah, definitely. It's tough.
So just real quick, as a filmmaker, how did you come up? How did you end up a filmmaker? Who were your early filmmaker inspirations?
Growing up, I always wanted to be in film, but my journey wasn't going that way. I did so many different jobs when I was younger, and eventually landed up working as a driver for a film company. So I was driving, Steenbecks, Chems, Avids around, dropping them off to all these really cool films. Like it was in 1998, so I was working on The Mummy, Bond films, Lost in Space.
So when you say you were basically a PA, a production assistant.
Sort of. I worked for the hire company, so I'd go in and deliver all the editing equipment to the post production.
Okay.
And then eventually I started learning how to put the systems together.
I see.
I fell into it that way. But by the time I wanted to start making my own stuff, because I'd seen enough films, I'd usually go into a cutting room and see a few frames of a film and know if it was going to be a good film or not straight away. And I could tell it was really weird. Just the barometer was bang on. And sometimes I was looking at scripts and going, wow, how are they making this? Like they're putting how much into, and you could just tell it was a terrible idea of a film, but they're putting millions into it. So that just made me want to get more into, trying to make things for myself. But early influences for me, I mean, one documentary I love, music. I've always loved music documentaries. I mean, who doesn't? But I think it was The Who. The Kids Are All Right. Amazing documentary. It's just chaos the whole way through from start to finish. I loved it.
Yeah, it's great.
Think Searching for Sugar Man, that was a more recent one.
Yeah, very inspiring.
Yeah, exactly. Something where, just I like films that get you here. They just they do something without you're even aware of what it's doing to you inside. Sure. And then you reflect on your feelings afterwards rather than you feel like you're walking yourself through the story. I like being dragged through a story. Beware Mr. Baker as well. That's a
the story of Anvil.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah. Great film. I only saw that quite recently. I saw that about a year and a half ago. Man, that was tough viewing.
Well, it was. I learned a bit from that film, and whereas it's what's the bigger picture? When we make these films, what's the bigger picture? Is it's really not the film's really not about about the heavy metal band Anvil. Right. The bigger picture is it's about the friendship that these guys had, enduring over all those years, and that speaks to people on a big scale.
Yeah.
The Alago film's not about the guy who signed Metallica. The bigger picture is it's about somebody that in spite of his ethnicity and whatever sexual whatever, it's about someone that just loves music, and that's the bigger picture. And I feel that's the appeal of your Life of Agony film. There's a bigger. It's not just about Life of Agony. It's a bigger picture here.
Yeah, it is. It's about the overarching thing for me was growing up with the bands. They were. I've always said this. They're one of my favorite bands of all time. They've always been in my top 10, go-to, and that has never really left, never left my iPod, my CD, my tape. I've had this on every format, and it's got me through some really bad times, this album has. So to work on the film, and then really wanted to get into the nub of the people behind it and the families. There was one thing, the theme that kind of really struck with me was generational trauma.
Sure.
In it, and how the further you go back, how more violent and horrific it must have just progressively been since the beginning of time. And hopefully things mellow out. But it's a story. People not carrying that through to the next generation. You got Alan and Joey in this film that just and Mina just decided it all stop there.
Yeah,
and so they could create a completely different life for their kids as well.
Sure.
That for me was more interesting. Then we went in and made River Runs Red, and all the stories behind that, the fallouts and all that. That's another layer, which I don't think that we really wanted to go down. It was more about families really, and we wanted it to appeal to people outside of the band as well.
Mm-hmm.
Us Lynch and Mina there getting the sound kit on at Coney.
Yeah, this is you guys. This is you guys shooting. I thought I'd throw a production photo in there. But you know what? It's more. Would be a little more appropriate would be for those that may not know. Let me put the. Let me get this up there as we're talking about the film, and Yeah, absolutely. And just as a reference to what you said, it's about breaking the chain, like you said, the generational chain of abuse or abuse or drug addiction or violence or all that stuff. It's about breaking the chain, and this film had that up front and center.
Yeah, it was cool, and it was basically just me and Lynch, the guy that you saw in that photograph. He's my DOP, but it was basically me and him shot the whole thing. We didn't have a sound man. Only had a sound man on one occasion. We just couldn't afford it, and also having just a crew of two of us, I think it was a lot more. We got a lot more intimate interviews out of it as well, because we're all friends with the band as well. So it's not like a production team that are going in and filming something. We're quite candid off camera as well. And I've
that's
known
what works. That's what works best.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to put yourself in that family. And the thing is, this as well. Like, when we went to interview Zamp, Joey's brother, I hadn't met him before. And within, half an hour I was filming him, and, he's recounting stuff that he's never even spoken to with anyone, let alone me, a stranger. But by the end of those conversations, because you go so deep, you've got a bond that kind of resonates after the filming. It's kind of a beautiful shared experience when you're going through that process, and there's healing going on as you're filming at the same time. And then as you're shooting, I'm referencing my own experiences in life, and it's all making sense of me and everything else. It's kind of a cool process all the way around, I think.
It's a great experience when you're making art together, and it's working and going through that process. Hey, you know what? I want to shout out Whitney Crawford, who I just saw graduated the other day. So all the best to you, Whitney. Congratulations. I saw some of your stuff on the internet. So good for you. I got a couple of cool pictures that you sent me. You know what I want to this here, and we're going to bring the guys on, like, and we'll chop it up. But before we do that, this item here, it's a damn good looking film, and this is your weapon of choice. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's the Kinfinity Mavo LF full frame, 6K camera. It's a Chinese brand, and it never really took off outside of the UK, and a few units here and there. It's done well, but the actual sensor is just the best sensor. It's the roll off on the highlights is amazing. It looks like a painting straight out of the camera without doing anything. It's just one of the best images that I've ever seen.
Goddamn good looking footage, man.
Yeah, dude, you would need to say the 4K version. It's you know what it's like by the time it gets onto YouTube or anywhere else, it's lost all that nuance.
Sure.
But man, the 4K version is just something else. And we saw it at the BFI at the Flair Festival. I was invited to do a screening down there, and to see that on a massive digital projector on South Bank at the British Film Institute, man, that was so special. I had a lot of family and friends came down, and yeah, just seeing it up there, it did look really good. And having my first big film out, going through the QC process and everything else, I was always a bit nervous about what would pass and what would fail. Yeah, that was a bit of always in the back of your mind what that process is going to unfold. But luckily, it all got through and looked good.
Yeah, it looked damn good. I mean, I piped it in the other day and watched it on Amazon. Amazon, it's on VOD, video on demand.
Yeah.
If anybody out there wants to watch it, The Sound of Scars, it's on Amazon. I don't know. Would you call that Amazon Prime? It's on Amazon.
Yeah, Prime. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Prime is you get it for free, but it's on Amazon. It was like a $3.99 rental.
Yeah.
So you cheap fucks, check it out. It's great. That said, let's bring the guys in the band on. They've been on the show before. Of course, we're talking about from Life of Agony guitar player Joey Z. What's up, Joey?
What's up?
And
hey,
of course,
great to see you guys.
Our friend Alan Robert as well. What's up, Al?
Al.
What's up? How is you guys?
let's talk. Let's kick it off and talk about how did you guys get connected? Joey, how did Lee come into the Life of Agony world? How did you guys sort of connect?
Well, I think Alan, you could shoot from there. You had a relationship with Lee first. I met Lee through Alan, basically in England.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I think Lee just randomly emailed me somehow, and was like, "I'd love to shoot you guys in London, and it's not going to cost you anything." And I was like, "I like this guy." So, how many people you need on the guest list? And we shared a couple of pints, I think, that night.
We did.
And we hit it off right away, and he was super sweet and loved the band, and Ugly made a big impact on his life, and we had some good talks, and it just went from there. He shot. We were actually about to do A Place Where There's No More Pain record, and I think we used some of his footage to promote that, and then it led to doing a couple of music videos with him.
Right.
And it just was really organic from the jump.
Lee, a couple of videos you did with them?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was A Place Where There's No More Pain, World Gone Mad, Dead Speak, Kindly.
Yep.
Then it was Lay Down, Black Heart.
Scars.
What else did we do? There was something.
Scars.
Of course.
How can you forget that when Alan and I got the shit kicked out of us?
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, guitars. Alan got popped right in the jaw.
He did.
The shot that's in the video, of me getting elbowed in the face, that was like the third time. And after that time, I was like, I'm out.
Yeah, I was out of there. We didn't want to break our guitars.
How I convinced you to do that.
We still had songs to play in the set that night after that.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you guys about this place, and this plays heavy in the film, and it just seems to be a reoccurring theme for the band Life of Agony, and this is of course Coney Island in Brooklyn, and Lee, according to notes. Right, I got notes. Right, I love taking notes and not even doing the show and not even looking at it. It's a good show. Where's my? Hold on. Yeah, I love the Coney Island footage in the film, and that's drone footage, right, Lee?
Mm-hmm.
How do you shoot drone footage in Coney Island? Is that just something you poach? Do you just go get away with that?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I can't quite remember what happened that day. The drone seemed to go up somewhere and came straight back down with about 10 seconds worth of footage, I think.
There you go.
Yeah, that's your man, Lynch, the DOP. Yeah, it's just, like I say, just us two, really. So it was a little, real tiny drone. It wasn't a helicopter or a Cineflex, that's for sure.
It's really, really great footage, man. And
Thank you.
It really adds a lot of production value to it. It's like, wow, look at this stuff. But Coney Island is a place, Joey, that dates back to Life of Agony, back to the Through and Through video, right?
It's a staple, it's a Brooklyn staple. It's a landmark, obviously. That Cyclone roller coaster. I mean, I rode that roller coaster, had the shit scared out of me as a kid on it as a young teenager. So, that's honestly, I think it's just an iconic landmark. And we thought it would be a great place to shoot that Through and Through video right there on the boardwalk with everyone fucking leaping off the boardwalk onto each other. It was just a great idea. Get everyone in the sand and fucking moshing and beating the shit out of each other in a pit. So it was a fun video to make back then. And I think it just stuck with us. The whole Coney Island thing just kind of stuck with us.
Yeah, for sure. And here's this shot again of Mina getting mic'd up, and that's right down there. That's like right off Surf, right?
And Mina, I know because Mina still lives in Brooklyn and she visits Coney Island quite frequently. She spends a lot of time just walking up and down, just kind of, I guess meditating is what Mina does. So spends a lot of time there.
Yeah, she's not far. She's not far from there.
Right.
Lay, there's an interesting. I know. You know where you live. There's an interesting tie-in with Coney Island. Could you explain that to us?
Yeah, basically, where I live, there's a really old amusement park with roller coaster, big wheel. It looks like Coney, and I've always thought that, you know, every time that I go past it, it looked like Coney. And I found out that the guy that built it in Margate actually he built it because he visited Coney about 80 years ago and saw that and wanted to replicate that in the UK. So Margate is twinned with Coney, basically.
Did you guys know that? Did you know that?
No, I did not know that. No, that's cool.
Yeah, I was researching where Lee lives, and it's one of the like main attractions is a place there called Dreamland.
Yeah.
And apparently this guy was inspired by Coney Island and created this amusement park called Dreamland.
Yeah.
Where and it's still sitting there to this day. Wait, I even have a picture.
Sounds like where I'm at, like 18 hours out of my day.
Yeah.
But they don't got Nathan's. They don't got
Until I have my coffee.
Oh yeah, the hot dog.
Dreamland.
With that green sauce. What is that sauce they put on those hot dogs?
Green sauce.
Sauce. Yeah, that's it.
That's Dreamland.
Wow.
Yeah, man, it's no joke.
That does resemble Coney a lot.
In the background, the same kind of blocks of flats.
Yeah,
well.
It does. That resembles Coney. Yeah, big time.
Weird,
It's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot cleaner though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's Photoshop.
Actually, Lee lives in a really beautiful part of the country. I was checking it out before.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Let me see. Is that right? You know Margate well. Yeah, beautiful part of the country.
Had a really good time watching the two of you talk about film stuff and share feelings and experiences and thoughts. That was really cool watching you two. That part of the show alone was awesome. I just loved it.
Well, you know, my feeling is that anybody that can get something like this done deserves a medal and a monument, because I know what goes into these things, man, and I know, you know, especially as an independent filmmaker, the kind of passion that you have to have and the wherewithal to see it through to the end, because you know, it's just it's like one crushing disappointment after the other.
We've been seeing it on email every day with Lee.
Yeah, like just one crushing defeat after another, you know, and yet it's like,
you have to keep going. It's like
you have to.
And then when you get that small little win, you know, the whole team feels like, yeah, you know.
Definitely. I mean, I had 2.5 years of Alan keeping me in the room. To be honest, it was Alan that kept me. You know, he's trying to keep Lee in the cage.
I mean, I'm Lee's personal therapist.
Yeah, definitely.
Alan, you don't speak out to me.
Yeah. You know what I loved? You know, I loved the early footage of the band that's in the doc.
Yeah.
You know, just knowing what I know about the process. I mean, that's something that I guess Alan or you, Joey, you just had on VHS for,
Alan.
You know.
We all have kind of similar tapes. It's just Alan had his more just at his disposal, where mine is buried in a pit under my house right now.
Alan, tell us about like that. I love that early footage of you guys wrestling in the basement and all that stuff. Like, tell us about like what that footage was and how you managed to keep it all these years.
It's funny because I was going through old bins of all those tapes, and I have all the first drawings of the logo and all that stuff packed away. You know, because I don't know. Back then, I thought, you know, I might want to see this one day and not look at it for 30 years. But I'm glad I kept all that stuff. And when I found that tape, I'll never forget it. I put that tape in the VCR and saw us dance around out my basement.
Yeah.
I was like, this is gold. This is gold, Jerry.
Yeah.
That's in the film.
Yeah, it's great. It's great when that stuff turns out. Lee, you must have been stoked when that stuff
yeah, definitely. Also because as the characters got introduced, like, you know, interviewing Chris and then seeing him in the basement, and there's a real long shot that kind of finds his way through everyone fighting. Then you see Chris, and then it cuts to a shot of him. It was one of those moments that really was just beautiful to have. But yeah, seeing the guys kicking the shit out of each other as well, some really cheap shots as well up
The
there.
funny
in
part
social
was
media.
that, you know, the shirts that we were wearing are the same shirts we wear now. Still.
That's true.
And the best part of that whole scene is, well, people don't know the music we were actually listening to in those tapes. We were actually killing each other to Carnivore, Sheer Terror, you know,
Biohazard demos.
Biohazard. Like that was the, you know, we had to implement music for that scene, Lee. You know, like
Think of It All, wasn't it, as well?
yeah, and the original tapes have you know, some hard ass music in there.
Yeah, definitely.
I saw some of my Biohazard footage in the film.
Yeah, we
There
found
you go.
And Lee's like, that was yours? I'm like,
Drew's like, yo, man, you didn't pay me for that shit, man.
But I know how it goes. But I was like, I was watching watching it with my girlfriend. I was like, yo, that's my footage.
Oh my god, it's so
Which
funny.
part from Lemoore?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That New Year's, that crazy Biohazard show from New Year's 92, 93.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Wow.
I think we shot 2 cameras, but you know who shot it for me?
Was Paris?
Jeremy Skorka.
Oh,
Really?
Jeremy! Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jeremy-
he used to film a lot of our stuff there too.
Yeah. I think I hired him for the night to shoot it, you know, or something, or paid him, you know, 92, 93, that Biohazard stuff. But listen, I'm happy it made it into the film. You know,
Yeah,
the art is made to be liberated, man. And if you have a use for it, I'm happy for that, man. You know?
I'm so glad you're gracious about it, because we did try going down the road with that one. So
You could, and I also know what it's like. It's only me, bro. It's okay. It's me. Yeah.
Oh man, I owe you.
Hey guys, shout out our friend Chris Contos. What's up?
Chris Contos, what's up, Chris?
It was great to see LOA at Grass Pop 2007. All right.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah. Yes, Paulie, that was the show, New Year's Eve at Lemoore. Yep.
He was holding the tripod.
92, 93. You know, also what I enjoyed in the film is that some of the outside interviews. You had, of course, speaking of Biohazard, you had our good friend Billy G in, which I know you guys have been very close.
Super close, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that you guys, and he's always been a big supporter of the band. Is that right?
Absolutely, 1,000%, 1,000. And you know what? We get it from all over the map with the New York hardcore scene. You know, from the AF guys to Madball to everybody. Always gave Life of Agony super support. Always a lot of love. We're grateful for all of it. You know, sick of it all. Everybody like always welcomed us in their circles, and we're grateful for that because we're all big fans of them. We've been listening to all these bands, Cro-Mags, everybody since we're kids with you guys. We've all been in the same circle. So we're just glad that everyone understands us and accepts what we are, although we're different. We've always been that band that was just something off or different about this band.
Yeah.
And but we were still accepted, and we're grateful, you know, for that.
Yeah, an interesting thing that happened watching the film, you know, with my girlfriend, who comes from a bit of a different background. She's not a hardcore gal. She's comes from more of sort of a goth background, and of course, big fan of she's a big fan of Typo Negative and you know, the Bloody Kisses and that era, and so. She didn't really know a lot about Life of Agony, and we went out and saw you guys play out at Debonair Music Hall in New Jersey, and she loved it. I mean, it was great. You guys were great, and I told you this. It was years since I've seen you, and you guys were fantastic, and I really enjoyed it, and she really enjoyed it. And then when we watched the film, we were talking about River Runs Red. And I basically explained to her that, you know, there's a direct connection here between this band and Typo Negative. There is a lineage in that record, which was produced by Josh
Silver,
from and has the drummer that plays on that record as well.
Yep.
And so there's a real connection to Typo Negative. Could you give us a little take on that, Joey?
Yeah, I mean, again, like such a tightly knitted neighborhood. I think logistically we were all so close. Like Alan says it best. He grew up across the street from Evan. Like
right.
Evan lived literally across the street from Alan.
I got the great picture that Alan gave me when he was on the show with Evan. Him and Evan, his kids, at the birthday party, right?
Yeah.
I gotta find that. Go
I
ahead.
think we're watching a magician pull a rabbit out of a hat.
Right.
And you got to remember. And you got to remember that L'Amour's was just like the hub, you know, besides CBGB's, of course, as well. For Brooklyn, it was L'Amour's. And every weekend, we were all there together. The Typo guys, Biohazard guys, Life of Agony, we were all checking bands out, playing, who wasn't playing, who was playing. And we all rehearsed at the same studios. Like there was Ace London Studios. And basically, we did all demos at Josh's house. So there was like extreme like bond, you know, there with the Typo Negative guys and the Biohazard guys as well. And we were grateful once again that they accepted us and allowed us to play with them. You got to remember, like back in that day, obviously Typo and Biohazard were bigger than Life of Agony. They were allowing us to play on their shows and stuff like that and tours. So we're still grateful for all that. And you know, although people like Josh aren't in the music scene anymore necessarily, he won't ever be forgotten for what he's done for this band.
Yeah, it's incredible that he's out of the game completely. He was a very, very talented guy. You know? Yeah. Love the sheer terror stuff that he produced as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
me too.
What was that? Something Borrowed, Something Blue, Old and New, whatever that. Out of the whole sheer terror catalog, that could be my favorite. You know.
Yeah.
Is that right? Ace London was Joe Bravo?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. And what was the other one? Fastlane, right?
Fastlane, Mikey Goodballs.
And actually, we recorded our first two albums at the same studio as Typo did all their records at Systems 2 in Brooklyn.
Right. That's right.
With the same engineer, Mike Marciano.
Right. Mm-hmm. So there's a great connection and lineage, you know, with Typo Negative and Biohazard to Life of Agony. But you know, that said, of course, you guys certainly created your own path for yourselves, and you know, and here we are years later, and you're still doing it.
Yeah, I got a funny little story to tack on to that Typo Negative thing that nobody knows about out there. It's a simple one, but I think about it. When we were recording River Runs Red and Josh was mixing it, he brought us into the control room there at Systems 2 one day. Al, you'll remember this. And he goes, "Hey guys, what if we did this to the record?" And he slowed down the tapes to the speed of Typo Negative, like slow, deep, and hard slow, repulsion slow. And he goes, "Why don't we just do this to it and put it out like this?" And he scared the shit out of us, and he just started laughing. But it was like, remember that, Al?
Right.
We were both like,
We're like, maybe you need some more Manhattan Special, Josh.
Here's by popular demand, here's the great Evan Seinfeld, Alan Robert, 1977 Brooklyn birthday party picture. You know,
that's awesome. Yeah. Oh my God, I got to point to that one.
Isn't that great?
You can't beat that. You can't beat that.
And we have a winner, right? Let's see. James Elliott says the LOA demo got me through high school. All right.
That's awesome, James. Thanks, man. Yeah. You get it. You get it.
That's
watch the film, James.
Yeah. Of course. Another interview I really enjoyed, Lee, in the film was Whitfield Crane, and I thought it was really nice that it just goes to show the kind of character he has. A very very gracious guy to be in the film and you know, with those kind words. Any thoughts on Whitfield, Lee?
Yeah, he was incredible. Very articulate. extremely intelligent. Just the things that he said just really hit home about the band, about Mina, about everyone. In fact, there's a clip we use later on of him when he's actually talking about rock and roll boundaries, and they've all been played out, and these are some beautiful boundaries that need to be broken. It was just such an amazing soundbite that really just summed up Mina's journey at that point. So yeah, it was. He came out with some amazing things. It was his. I actually know Ugly Kid Joe's tour manager, Gav McCoy.
Right?
He's based in the UK, so he set it up. And said, "Do you want me to?" He knew I was filming this. He said, "Do you want me to try and get you an interview with Whit?" And I said, "Yeah, definitely." And it so happened I think it was October 2019. He was playing in the UK, so I was invited up to have a chat with him, and he was fantastic. And he's got so much love for the band. You know, he got a lot out of that experience. You know, he's very proud of it, and rightly so. And it didn't work out, but that's not his overriding thing. It's the overriding thing was the experience and the friendships that still endure today. So it's a nice thing to hear, because I don't think many people know a lot about that story as well. There's a lot of hearsay.
Yeah, and right. I've told both you guys, Al and Joey, I saw you guys play on an Ozfest with Whitfield, and you guys were great.
Yeah, thank you.
He was great with you. He was great. He was
great
with you guys. He's a great front man. He's got a great voice, and he, man, those are tough shoes to fill.
We're in a tight pinch.
To step in there and listen, and the film really puts that across.
Mm-hmm.
The film really puts across, like, we just did the record, Mina left, and what are we gonna do? Are we gonna pack? We're gonna fold our tent and go home, or we're gonna continue?
It was difficult. It was a difficult time.
She left the same week that we filmed the Desire video for Soul Searching Sun, and we just had everyone that showed up do a line on camera because we had no singer.
Right.
We didn't have Whitfield yet or anybody.
We didn't have anybody.
If you watch that video, you just see all of our friends just do a line from the song.
Well, you guys persevered, man, and you can't say that about every band. It's really great that things kind of circled back in the end, and that, as we say, it all came out in the wash, and Mina, Mina's back awesome. and your fan base, man. You guys have such an incredible, loyal fan base. People fucking love this band, man.
Yeah, it goes. I think obviously it goes deeper than the music. It's a connection with the struggles that are there, prevalent in the lyrics and the content. And I think that is the big deal about Life of Agony. That's the big cult following thing is like people just relate to what the experiences that we had and to what we had there in the content and the lyrics,
Yeah. You even got Doyle to speak on film. God bless you.
Sick, man.
Took a while.
Listen, man. Good luck with him. He doesn't want the fact that you have him actually delivering a line.
I know.
Pure cinematic gold.
Yeah.
Took a while. I love that shot as well. It's literally
he's not the most talkative guy.
I think there's more Doyle footage on the Blu-ray that's coming out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's like some extended, there's some great 45 minutes of extra footage on that Blu-ray, man.
Yeah.
There's some really good stuff, extra stuff.
We'll get to the Blu-ray in the second half. Blast Beat says, hot take, Broken Valley is a great album.
True
the release
story.
got bungled by Epic Records, not the band's fault.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
That's true.
My brother-in-law was just saying that. He was just saying to me at a dinner, my brother-in-law Frank was just saying, Joe, I know you got some great records in the catalog, but Broken Valley has to be one of my favorites.
Yeah, me too.
Wow.
Broken Valley's awesome.
Yeah. Of course, Brian, this movie deserves an Oscar. Okay.
Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Oh my God.
Him.
Have another beer, Brian.
Another beer. Hey, listen. Hey, if we can't say it, then who can?
Him, Dom, and Johanna, they would go to war for you guys.
Yep.
And okay, James Smith says, shout out from Smitty from CC4J, played with LOA at their very first show in New Jersey.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cryptic Cookies for
Cookies
Jesus.
for Jesus.
That's a singer right there.
Andrea Katz, tell the guys I say hi. Andrea
Hi,
Katz says
Andrea.
hi.
Hi, Andrea.
Hi, Andrea.
So that said, I want to. What else do I got? Oh, you know what? Wait, hold on. What is that? I wanted to ask you, Lee. This is an interesting picture, and you know, looks like you made a pilgrimage to Lenny and John's, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We was dragged there. It was an experience. It's held in a very high regard, that place.
You know, I think it's one of those
is.
places. It's one of those places that's it's held in high regard. You think you're going to go there and go through like the Golden Gates, and there's going to be fireworks.
I know.
It's just fucking pizza, man.
Yeah.
I know that they could sell anything and it would go off in that place, definitely.
You should see the after picture after they ate like mounds of everything on the menu. They were like,
please tell me you got the rice and cheese balls, right?
Oh man, I think we did.
Lenny and John's was the after rehearsal hub, man. All three bands, Typo, Biohazard. There, many awesome feet have walked the tiles there at Lenny and John's, including Peter Steele, Josh, everyone.
Evan used to deliver pizzas for Lenny and John's.
That's correct. Yeah,
this is true. He also got his front tooth. He got his front tooth knocked out in there. He told me some crazy story. Me and him were sitting in the back there eating, and he goes, "I was sitting right in that booth one day, and some guy came in, and he said I was behind the booth. This guy came in and hit me in the mouth and knocked my front." I said, "What?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Why did that happen?" He goes, "I don't know."
Wow.
Brooklyn.
I'll tell you one funny story. So me and Evan grew up across the street as kids, but then I moved to Mill Basin in Brooklyn, and I hadn't seen him for many years. But I cut my hand open, which is the reason I play with a pick.
Right.
And I was getting stitched up at Kings Highway Hospital, and I had long hair like in the movie at 17 years old with long hair and glasses. And my father was there, and Evan comes in the place delivering pizza to the nurses station from Lenny and John's and recognizes my father. He goes, "Rich, how you doing?" They start talking to each other. I'm getting stitched up. And he's like, "Alan?" And he hands me a Biohazard pass to L'Amour's. That was the first concert I ever went to.
Wow.
Yeah, and the rest is history.
Yeah. I want to take. Oh, you know what? Let's do this real quick. Lee, can you answer this? Andrew Vandenberg. When will the doc be available to stream, buy, rent? As far as I know, it's still not possible. Thanks, Lee.
Yes, it's a tough one. The sales distributors, we've got deals in Germany, France, the UK, Canada, USA, and I think the Netherlands as well. But I think France is out this month. The UK follows next month on June 13th. The others, I'm not too sure. It's not going to be long. It's going to be imminent. So, yeah, we're still waiting for information from our sales agents about things like that, which, information in sales agents is a bit, a bit left of field.
But it is available on Amazon.
Right. Yeah, in the UK, in the US it is, and Canada.
Oh, I see. That's it. Okay, he's referring.
Yeah, in a perfect world, it would have came out on the same date everywhere, but it gets sold territory by territory, and different companies handle it, the rollout.
Yeah, but it'll be out everywhere. Like Lee said, just give it a little bit more time, and every day it's being worked on. So.
But we do have good news though, because the physical copies are very, very close to being released now, as well. What's the deal with that, Alan? When do you think we're going to see that?
I think the pre-order is in a couple of weeks, and or maybe even in the next 2 weeks, and then it comes out. It starts shipping June 14th.
Yeah. Are you talking about the DVD?
Yeah, the Blu-ray.
Oh, Blu-ray. Yeah. So okay, let me take a sponsor break because I have the artwork for the Blu-ray, and let's put that up and let's talk about it, and let's talk about some of the extras that are in the Blu-ray. All right.
Cool.
See you in a few, Joey, Lee, Al. That's right. Always macking, never lacking, and constantly You know what's slapping. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, and we are sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, The Texas Silver Rush, DTFM Vinyl Distro, Chacho's Tacos, 126 Hardcore Clothing, Grunge and Grime Soap Company, and since 1992, Generation Records has been a mainstay of the New York metropolitan area music scene. Today, they offer a diverse selection of new and used rock, jazz, indie, hip-hop, punk, hardcore, metal, blues soundtrack, and reggae LPs, as well as T-shirts, posters, and other merchandise. They buy used record collections and music memorabilia and will pay you top dollar for them. House calls made for large collections in the tri-state area. Call or email generationrecords@gmail.com. Follow them on Facebook and on Instagram. Come on now, DTFM Vinyl Distro. It's a record store that specializes in underground music, punk, ska, hardcore metal, and more. Located in the heart of Fargo, North Dakota's industrial district, shop in person or online at www.dtfmvinyldistro.com, where the motto is death to false metal. Last but not least, it's 126 Hardcore Clothing. It's a streetwear band for restless individuals who don't compromise like you, my friend. They are about being positive, spontaneous, and true to yourself. For years, they experimented with several printing methods and materials and collaborated with a large number of designers and illustrators, always giving room for fresh perspectives while retaining the hardcore attitude. Don't care what you may say. We got that attitude. Get in touch with them and ramp up your game at www.126clothing.com. A couple of things. The next 4 shows. Just a heads up. Just a heads up. On, here you go. Wednesday, June 22nd, the pride of Staten Island, New York, Jeff Altieri from Enrage will be on the show, along with Mike Scandato, one of the 300 Scandato brothers from Inhuman and Last Stand, and his bandmate for the upcoming Inhuman reunion, Mr. Joe James. Also, who plays in Silvertomb with Kenny Hickey, formerly of Typo Negative. It's all connected, isn't it? Wednesday, June 29th, by popular demand, beloved figure, Mr. Bob Riley. From upstate New York, Troy, New York. We have met the enemy, and the enemy is us. Murderers Row, Stigmata, Cranial Abuse. This is a good friend of mine. I love this guy. It's going to be a great show. Who's excited about the Godfather film retrospective with Don Capria on Sunday, July 3rd? Yeah, he wrote the book Columbo, The Unsolved Murder. He's a drummer. He played in Scarhead. Big authority on the Godfather films. Excited to have him on. It's going to be really great. And then Wednesday, July 20th is a side trip with Kat Popper. Incredible bass player. She plays with Nora Jones and Puss in Boots. She played with Ryan Adams, our friend Jesse Mallon, Grace Potter, Willie Nelson, Jack White. So we have a Cat Popper show coming up as well. Trying to mix it up a little bit. Don't be scared. I have a belief that you can handle it. Just to do some selfless self-promotion real quick. We're talking about, listen, if you have Amazon, I have 4 films on Amazon right now. If you're looking for something to watch and you have not seen my Fakakta films already, XXX All Ages, XXX The Boston Hardcore Film, The New York Hardcore Chronicles, The New York Hardcore Chronicles Film 1.5, and Who the Fuzuck Is That Guy? The Fabulous Journey of Michael Lago. All films I directed, they are on Amazon Prime right now, as well as a bunch of other streaming platforms. The Alago film was recently re-released. If you're looking for something to do, go check it out. Want to mention, I have to mention that I know somebody asked earlier in the show, there is a Patreon page, and this show needs your support. 2 years into it, we're still doing what we do, uninhibited by the forces of evil. And it's your support that enables us to do that. So if you could find it in your heart to support the show, it would be greatly appreciated. A lot of work goes into this, so any kind of support. There's also a PayPal address there. If you want to get crazy and make a PayPal contribution, it's stone412@AOL.com. Or please join Patreon. I mean, that's like our community within the community. So, jump on board with that. Also, if you're watching this film in a rerun on YouTube, there is a subscribe button right there. Please subscribe to the show. And also, I'm confident that you have one of these communication devices. Please follow me on Instagram at Stone Films NYC to get all kinds of cool updates on the show and all that. That said, and all that, it's all that and more. All that in a bag of chips. Hey, also, there's a super chat function. When we go to questions, if you want to make a little contribution and you do a little super chat, it comes in color. I can't miss it. You go to the front of the line. So that said, let's clear the deck and let's bring our guests back on. Hold on. If you hold on. Remember that? Anybody know what that was? If you hold on. My brother did the EPK for them. Anybody? Who was that? Hold on. They were signed to SBK. My brother did the EPK for them. Oh, God. That said, no, Mina's not coming on the show today, Andrea. Nope. That said, let's bring our guests back on. Filmmaker, Lee Brooks. Hey, man. Guitar player extraordinaire, Joey Z.
Hello.
Bass player and artist extraordinaire, Alan Robert. Hey, Alan, somebody, we're kind of, no, it wasn't Toto. I know I did a bad, it was Wilson Phillips. That's what I was doing, If you remember Wilson Phillips.
Oh,
right? Yeah, oh no, somebody got it. Thomas got it. Yeah, it was Wilson Phillips. That's right. God, that stuff was brutal.
Hey, Drew, by the way, Sound of Scars is available on Amazon Prime. It is on Prime. It's just not, it's free. But if you go to Amazon Prime, it is on there. I just want to clarify that. It's not just on Amazon, like online on a computer. You go to Amazon Prime,
that's how I watched it.
Yeah.
It's on Amazon Prime, but I think you have to rent it for a
couple. Yeah, it's like $2.99, I think. Yeah. Just
same thing with iTunes.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's reasonable. It's like $2.99.
Yeah, I mean,
or $3.99 or something like this.
It's like the cost of a Gatorade.
Yeah, right. There you go. Hey, Alan, let's take a question here. Hey, Alan, any new art books coming up? They are the shit.
I actually just drew a 9-page story for the Pantera graphic novel that's going to come out.
I know this isn't current. Yeah, go ahead. I know that's not current, but it's a graphic I have. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
They asked me to do just a fictitious story based on their song "This Love." So that was a lot of fun to do. And there's another Beauty of Horror book coming, part 6 in the series.
Wow.
And a whole bunch of stuff on the back burner. I got to go on tour though, so I got to put those things on the side.
When you go on tour, Al, is it total like Blinders tour focus? Like just like gotta just is it survive? Are you just fighting for survival? In other words,
you know what it is. I want to really live in the moment.
Yeah.
And and so I want to enjoy myself and be with my family on the road and just be present in the day. And when I get home, I could draw.
Yeah, that makes
it's the way to live. That's the way to do it.
Joey, your feelings about when you're out there now? I mean, when you're out there now, I know you haven't been out in a minute. And
yeah, I'm dying. I can't wait to. We had a little taste of it, and then we got pulled off the road rather quickly with Mina and Veronica getting sick. But thankfully, that we hope and pray that won't happen ever again. But there you go. We got tons of dates lined up. Super excited. There's even more dates coming, everybody. Besides the dates you see right here, there's some announcements coming soon. We are going to be playing further into 2022, which all that is super exciting. You know, we need this. We're at the point where we really need to get out there and play again. Chomping at the bit is an understatement.
You know, I was talking to, Armand from Sick of It All yesterday at the bowl, and like, even though they've been out on the road, everyone's just trying to get their bearings. It's been so long, everybody's like just trying to like,
feel it.
Yeah, and try to like, get in a groove. You just hope it's something's not going to happen and pull the rug out from under it. But.
Yeah, well, it looks like the summer's looking promising. It looks like this COVID thing is kind of, hopefully, it looks like it's tailing off a little bit. So let's hope it stays that way, and we get out there and we do some badass fucking killer shows.
And I see you playing some of the real bastions of Life of Agony, support, including the Netherlands, France, Belgium, Czech Republic.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good ones, man. Good ones.
Budapest.
We got to get over to England again too. I've been getting hit up a lot, Lee, by some English folk saying,
"Yeah,
coming, mates."
Yeah, I'm going to try and get to that one in Derby. I've already asked Alan if there's room on the bus. Pick me up on the way.
This sounds cool. On June 25th, you're playing the Abyss Festival in Houtville, Switzerland. So
Houtville,
yeah, that's cool, man.
Switzerland's awesome, man. Wow.
Those festivals are. I mean, you guys have played a million of them. Those festivals are awesome.
Sure.
When you look at the festival and you're like, oh shit, so wow, I mean, are they playing the day that we're playing?
Yeah. We love that shit,
right? Like, shit, like they're still around, like
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you mean we get to play and then we get to go see fucking, Gojira or Slipknot or whoever, right after? That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's always like this, like the festival, and it's like, the big stage, the medium stage, the small stage, the tent, and it's just like, let's go to the tent. Just not to veer off, but one time I was out with Biohazard and they were playing one of those Enormo fests.
Yeah.
In the small tent was this guy called Kid Rock, right? And somebody was like, yo, and he was sort of on my radar screen, and we like trooped over to the tent, and there was like 30 people in the tent, and it was Kid Rock playing in front of like he was playing in front of 30,000 people. And he was playing in front of 30 people, and I was like, yo, this dude, something's happening here,
Right.
So
absolutely.
Let's
exciting.
Let's talk a little bit about the DVD release and some of the extra stuff on it. Alan, give us a take. I know you designed this, and walk us through it a little bit.
Yeah, well, there's going to be a Blu-ray release with a bunch of extra footage, and Lee could walk you through like the bonus features. But basically, this is what you're looking at now is the 16-page booklet that comes with it. And it's just kind of like a labor of love. There's a lot of behind the scenes pictures and accounts from Lee, from his memory, going through the whole process of the production and following us around through some dire circumstances around the world. And it was just a labor of love, everyone involved.
And of course, I love the design. I know you put a lot of love and care into it, Al.
Oh, it looks amazing. Looks amazing.
It really looks good, man. Really, really nice friggin' design, man.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
It's a lovely memento to have as well for all of us,
And Lee, just looking at what's I know there's a director's commentary. Give us a little take on doing a director's commentary. I'm sure, how many times did you have to do it until you were comfortable?
Do you know? I did it twice. I did it 1.5 times, and I I went back and there was a few things that I said that I definitely did not want to say.
Yeah.
So those kind of ended up on the cutting room floor somewhere, floating in the North Sea at the moment. But yeah, sometimes I come out with so much shit anyway, like constantly. It just falls out of my mouth. So it wasn't hard to fill 90 minutes. It was just whether it was 90 minutes of nonsense or not. And it probably is. I haven't listened to it back too much, to be honest.
Don't worry, you never will.
I'll tell you though, yeah.
From one director to another, chances are you won't.
Yeah, it's the cringe factor.
I'm looking forward to hearing it because my favorite thing to do when I draw for hours and hours is like listen to Scorsese DVD commentaries, Coppola. That's all I do is like listen to the outtakes because I don't watch the screen I'm drawing. You know, I just want to hear it.
That's cool.
And so I'm gonna check this out too.
That's interesting. Yeah, I guess that makes a lot of sense as you're drawing, right? I mean, you're not going to sit
hear all
silent.
their stories. Yeah.
Sure. Paulie Porkchop says, "I see Steven's name on there." Yes, right.
Yeah, there it is, Steven Messina.
Yeah. Yep, there he is. Steven got a little love on it. So, but yeah, the packaging looks great. Also, I want to ask you, Lee, what is Q&A with Sean the Butcher? Who's Sean the Butcher?
Oh, he was from Sirius. Is it Sirius FM, guys?
Yeah, Liquid Metal. Yeah.
Yeah, he did when we did a pre-release showing last year. When was that? It was about April. So before that, Sean interviewed us for about 50 minutes with Mina and Veronica as well.
I see.
So it was a special thing that we just collected everything that was that was out there that we did and just bundled it all together. But yeah, there's loads of extras on there. There's quite a
tell us about a couple of them.
Well, there's 45 minutes of extra footage that from various scenes in the film that didn't make it in, or stories that it got expanded on. It's quite a lot of funny stuff in there. It was really, the humor level was great in that. It's kind of nice bit of, a bit more lighthearted than some of the film. And there's, because we shot so much beautiful footage around New York, I wanted to do like a mood film of just some of the cheap things. So, I did that. And then it was all to Mina's score as well. And then all of the photographs we had animated, we kind of bundled them all together to create a little picture book scene and as well. And I think Mina's singing Coffee Break on that one. She's doing like a very downbeat acoustic-y piano version of that. It's crazy.
What's the Once Upon a Time in Brooklyn? Is that like a little just
a little vignette? Once Upon a Time in Brooklyn. That is that's the GVs around Brooklyn basically. It's just empty streets and just real cool, moody stuff. So yeah, that was that one as well.
Makes sense. And okay, that makes sense. Joey.
Yeah.
I gotta say, looking at my notes.
Yeah.
My note. I'm gonna read straight off my notes.
Go for it.
Heaviest scene in the film equals Joey Z visiting his dad.
That was an incredible moment in my life. I'm so glad we have it on film, to be honest with you. It's emotional even thinking about it.
Yeah, man. It was really heavy, man. And
that was Lee just saying to me one day, he's right here at my house, Lee, right? We're here doing some filming with the group and with me. And he says to me, what are the odds that we get to Maine while I'm here and bring you to go see your dad and have a sit down and a chat with him? And I was like, what? And then I was like, well, I don't know if he'd want to do that. So I gave him a quick call and I said, would you be into doing this for us? And he said, sure. And I was like, really? So he was like, okay, let's book the flights. We're going to Maine tomorrow. It was that quick, literally. Yeah. Like we booked the flights literally after I hung up my dad. And then the next day we're on the plane going to Maine. And now
and just the two of you guys went up there?
And Lynch, the other person that was heavily helping Lee with everything. But
Sure.
The three of us went up there, and just so everyone knows, everything you see in those scenes was shot as it went on. Lee We pulled up to the house and Lee had the camera rolling in the car.
Good work,
Like
Lee.
without, so he got the very moment when my dad opened the door. It wasn't like we went in and then he set up, okay, let's go back out. No. Everything you see, every moment in the whole movie was shot the way it happened. So, yeah, it was a heavy moment in my life. Like I said, I'm glad we have it on film. It's something I could always look at now and see him. You know, no one lives forever. And I think I make a reference to that in the film to him, directly to my dad, that it's great that we're doing this today because I want to tell you to your face I love you instead of an empty box. And I want to forgive you to your face because I think this film is heavily about forgiveness. It's about how to move on. It's about making changes. It's about a new beginning. And hopefully that helps people who watch the film and who've had some experiences in their life that they're not so fond of. It helps them heal. Hopefully the film helps them forgive people, because if you hold resentment in your life towards anybody, you can never, ever be truly happy inside if you're holding resentment. So I feel so good because I am fully clean with resentment. I don't resent my father or family for everything that went on. And Mina and I are cousins, so I've seen it firsthand what Mina went through. We lived in adjoining houses, so there's chaos everywhere. But it's about perseverance. There you go, Robert. Thank you. And that sums it up. You know, that scene with my dad is so revealing. He really amazed me that he was able to open up that wide. Would you say, Lee? How wide he was able to?
I was unsure that was going to happen, even right up till we got there. That could
Right.
have just, ended at any moment there. So the fact that actually happened and we got it was just an incredible experience the whole way round. It really was, to watch you two together. And yeah, I've never known anyone of that age to have such contrition and be able to articulate why and what his part was. Usually a lot of people in denial, they won't even answer the question. So the fact that he just came through like that, when you spend the whole film thinking probably you got preconceptions of him because he's the man in the background.
Yeah.
And that builds up an image in your head and you're filling in the blanks. And then you see him, the silhouette in the window looking out. And it's funny because in that one of the shots where he's looking out the window, there's a stained glass of what he wrote, wasn't there? Sort of what he made, didn't he, Joey? And it's a ray of sunshine coming down over to the house.
I got the chills, bro. I got the chills.
Yeah. And that was just, that art was part of his therapy as well to get better. And that it's there just in the shot. So all these little things were I don't know. It's just, that's never to be repeated. And if I never make another film, some of the things that we got in this and got out of everyone, that will stay with me forever. And as I open my account with Life of Agony 26 years ago, to do this for the band and myself and everyone else, that's why we put so much effort into that Blu-ray and everything else as well, because it's as much something that we want to physically hold as well, be proud of and open up and experience. And I don't know, it's a special film for me. It really is.
Absolutely. And as a fellow filmmaker, that scene, I really recognized it. And funny you should bring up when you guys went to the door, because I looked at it and I saw it and I said, they're shooting this in real time. I did. I knew that as a filmmaker, and having been in that situation, and just the emotion and the reaction, it was genuine. And and as a filmmaker, Lee, it's just like, all our hopes and dreams come true in those moments as filmmakers.
The Christmas scene as well, Drew, when the guys all get together at Christmas for the dinner. That was the last dinner before COVID. The last Christmas before anyone was able to, stay, be together. And that, me and Lynch, we shot that in real time as well. It was just
that was amazing.
We had 2 microphones each on each camera, so you're listening to 2 different conversations, and then Lynch had another 2, and we were just like floating around these various conversations as they were happening in real time. And, you know, some of the conversations between Aunt Ro and Mina are just amazing. And there's a bit more of that in the extras as well, isn't there? There's a few more good bits that expand on that, but just these amazing conversations in real time that, you know, we were only able to do that because there was two of us. I think if there was more than that, it would have lost that feel, that intimate feel.
And also, you know, being that you shot it on 5K with that beautiful camera, it's really going to come through on a Blu-ray. So that's really great. That's awesome because it's not always that the high end format you shoot it and when it comes out on matchup, you know, usually you shoot something at 5K and it ends up on somebody's phone. It doesn't matter.
Well, you know, the worst is when I put the film on for my mum around her house, and all of a sudden I looked at it looked hyper real, and I was like, oh, motion sickness. So, you know, the settings, the fucking motion judder settings on TVs.
Right.
Turn that off straight away so it looked more like film. I hate that kind of hyper real. So everyone's looking at it completely differently.
You know, my new film is screening again. It's on the festival circuit now, but it's doing a screening down in Florida. And you know, nowadays you give them a DCP, which is a very high res file. This place is asking me for a DVD, and I'm like, you want me to burn a DVD of this thing? It's gonna look like shit. You know, it's just like, you know, some places it's still in the Stone Age. But here, we love on the show when things happen in real time. Kenny Clark says, watch the trailer on Amazon. Boom, I rented it. Watching it after the show. Thanks for the hookup. Always learn new shit here. So
that's awesome.
It's cause and effect out in New York.
It is, man. It's great.
Nah, it's
great. What you're doing is great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Zolt, I have learned so much from you already, from your music, lyrics. It seems more coming with this film.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
And Theresa says, I can't wait to see this. It's great. I watched it. I recommend it. It's really great. It's a good, well shot, great touching story. You know, it's really great. Okay, this is sure, why not? James Elliott, I think LOA's music has always transferred emotions to the listener. Hear, hear. When I think back of listening to them walking the halls of school, I can remember now what I was feeling and thinking, which is amazing because at this age, I can't remember what I ate for lunch.
Ain't that the truth?
You know, I guess, you know, Alan, music is like that, right? You know, music resonates with us all these years later as adults and brings up those emotions and feelings. I know you're a big lover of the Misfits catalog and stuff like that. And that's stuff that we listen to as young people. And it still really resonates for us, right?
Yeah. And I think that's part of what makes this band unique and also authentic because, you know, we've evolved from record to record. It kind of represented a piece of our life at that moment in time. And it's kind of like a photo album in a way to like look back on those records. Oh, that's who we were then. That's what we were feeling then. And, you know, every record has been that type of authentic, organic experience of representing who we were at that moment.
What is, I guess this is a photo that was sent to me by Lee. Is this I know? Is this rehearsal for what? Is this band rehearsal for?
Yeah, we were rehearsing there. That was just a band rehearsal.
Is that SIR? What is that?
No, that's a studio. That's a great studio, by the way, out in Long Island called Elite Sound. If anyone, it's right by what's the name of that town? Babylon. It's right by Babylon. It's a great studio. They have numerous rooms, and that's the big room. They have full sound stage, and I'm quite fond of this studio here. I visit it quite often. I love the owner, Mark. He's fantastic. But yeah, reach out to Elite Sound. That place is dope, man.
Wow! Wow! That's a lot going on there, man.
Yeah.
All those cabinets are up. Those are the studios.
That's the studio's rig right there. Yeah, you just come in and plug in. They have everything there, man. They're a really great place.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I might have to check that out, being that we're looking at doing some rehearsals out in Long Island.
Yeah, let them know I sent you, Drew. Mark is a great guy. I'll hook you up.
I'll text you at some point. Bill Jarvie, I'm sold. We'll watch the film after the show. All right, cause and effect. We live for it.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Love it.
Lee, you saying something?
No, just thanking Bill for his support there.
Okay, good. Let me take my final sponsor break, and we'll come back and let's take some questions from everybody, and let's chop it up a little bit more. Okay.
Sure.
I'll see you in a couple. That's right. They said it couldn't be done, but it is. The New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, Organic Grill, DTFM Vinyl Distro, Generation Records, 126 Hardcore Clothing, Grunge and Grime Soap Company, and the Texas Silver Rush. It's a jewelry design firm and boutique store located in the birthplace of the Texas country music scene in Fredericksburg, Texas. They specialize in working with musicians in all music genres, both country and Western, as well as to style them, to design and create unique one-off pieces, as well as to style them for stage, album covers, promo photos, and social media exposure. Information and online sales are being taken at their Facebook and Instagram pages, and of course, www.thetexassilverrush.com. Our new sponsor, our latest sponsor, who sent me a whole bunch of these things. Woo! I got to get this show done. I got to rub this on my body. This is Grunge and Grime Soap Company. They're a modern day soap company with a rock and roll spirit. Come on now. Inspired by the music we grew up with. Music is in our soul. From 80s hair metal to 90s grudge and everything in between, we believe in being true to yourself no matter who pop culture tells you to be. Right on. Woo! Grunge and Grime Soap Company. We're gonna have the, what is this one? Filthy IPA. These are so nice. I don't even want to use these friggin' things. Sandman. Oh, now we're talking. God damn. This smells so good I want to eat it. Black Forest. Woo. All you dirty motherfuckers, come on over to my house. We'll take a bath together, huh? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There you go. What else? Hey, I want to mention that how about a week from today, the Back to the New York Hardcore. Oh wait, I forgot somebody. The Back to the New York Hardcore Roots series returns 1 week from today. We will not be doing a show because we will be down at the Bowery Electric, and yes, it is true. Ludacris is playing. If it's free, it's for me down at the Bowery Electric. It's all ages Sunday matinee. You heard? Ludacris, Butterbrain, Fuck It, I Quit, with our old friend Tim Shaw, formerly of Ensign, Distinguish the Code, and Deja, DJ Spike Polite. That's 1 week from today. Get your shoes and socks on, kids. It is right around the corner. Also, the show after that is on Sunday, June 26th. It is my birthday show. So feel free to come down to the show and get naked. Sunday, June 26th, Sworn Enemy, Inhuman. Yes, we are. It is our maiden voyage of Incendiary Device, Blackout, Shoppers, and Sewage, along with DJ Sid the Kid. Also, this show was just announced. It is the Run Amok Fest. That's the name we ended up arriving at. The Run Amok Fest. That is Sunday, August 14th, with Leeway, Enrage, the Pride of Staten Island, the Car Bomb Parade, Damn Your Eyes, featuring Gabby Abularak, formerly of Cro-Mags, Necrotic Society, United Blood, Sid the Kids Band, and RBNX. That is the Run Amok You Schmuck Fest. I think, oh yeah, one other thing. I'm going to be in Berlin, Germany. Listen, you Krauts, come to my book signing at Cortex Records in Berlin. Looking forward to seeing all my pals in Berlin at Cortex. That is Sunday, June 3rd. Signing copies of the New York Hardcore Chronicles Volume 1, 1980 to 1989, a flyer oral history. I will be there June 3rd at Cortex Records on my way to screen my new film, The Jews in the Blues, in Gothenburg, Germany. And after that, I am going to the Middle East to screen my film. Lots happening with my new film. And, you know, I got to mention, this wasn't on the agenda, but I'm going to mention it, that let me find the flyer. My new film is screening at the Nighthawk Cinema. God forbid I find the flyer. Here, I'll just put this up for now. Wait a second. Where the hell did that go? Hold on. Stick with me for a second. How does shit just disappear? All right. Shit disappears. My new film, The Jews in the Blues, is screening a week from Monday. That is May 23rd, I think, at the Nighthawk Cinema in Brooklyn. It is almost sold out. This is going to be a big event. It's a big theater, 194 seats. Yo, come to this screening. It's going to be great. So that said, I think we got everything covered. Is everybody behaving themselves? No drama. Yes, and Rage is playing. You like the Apes flyer, right? I told Steven, no more Planet of the Apes flyers, no more Marvel. I'm done. And then, you know, he sends me that one. I said, I know it's against, and then I'm like, you know what? It's kind of great. Is that right? Tim Shaw's your homie? Yeah. Yep. Good stuff. Okay, good. Everybody seems to be okay. Let's bring our guests on. Mr. Lee Brooks, Mr. Joey Z, and Mr. Alan Robert. You know? There you go. Hey, let's take some questions. If anybody out there have some questions for film director Lee or Joey or Alan, post it up. Let's go. Don't be shy. Let it fly. Let's start with Pat Baldwin. Was it difficult getting all their families to participate in the film? Who would be best apt to answer that?
I think Joey and Alan on that one. They had to make the phone calls.
Go ahead, Joey.
It wasn't too difficult, honestly. My brother, my mom, my dad, like I talked about earlier, everyone seemed like, sure, like anything you guys need. So I think it was kind of easy on my part. It was no pushback on my part. So
it was kind of fun. It was a funny scene in my house because when it's time for my sister to get interviewed, she didn't want anyone listening to what she said.
Oh God, another one of those.
Woo.
So me and my folks who were upstairs while she was downstairs in the basement getting interviewed, and my mom was, what is she gonna say about us? Oh no, you know, what's gonna be in this film? So there's a lot of nervous energy.
But it all worked out, right?
Yeah, it was.
Was there anybody that was sort of on the fence, or did it just sort of everything was cool?
No, I think my dad. He's got some IMDb page going. He was in a couple of Life Agony videos, a couple of spoiler videos. He was in the Sound of Scars. He was on the cruise ship. He was on the cruise ship during COVID that was stuck in Japan. So he was in that movie too.
Now this is a tough question. I don't like questions like this, so thankfully it's not my film. Lee, was there anything you wish you included that you were unable to?
Yeah, I think it was probably the soundtrack that we had prior to this this version of the film. It had about another 8 Life of Agony songs in there, and also there was some Biohazard stuff. Sick of It All as well, Psychic TV. You know, we went buck wild on that first edit. So yeah, I wish some of that music was still in it. But having said that, because Mina wrote most of the score, we were able to supplement those experiences in the songs for direct experience from Mina writing new music about those scenes as well. So it kind of worked in a bit of a 360 way. It's funny because you get used to seeing one track on the film and you can't possibly imagine it without that track on. But then actually when you substitute it for something else, you realize it's the power of the scene as much as anything else. And usually you can work with something else. That was quite liberating as a filmmaker, because I honestly thought I'd be like, no, that's got to stay. But when we saw the bill come through for the music, we were like, let's lose a few tracks then, shall we?
For the music licensing, right?
Absolutely, and I've been down that road, man. It's like, you know, you don't want to change something until you realize how much it's going to cost to clear, and then you do what you got to do. You know.
Well, Joey actually wrote. It was for the Broken Valley bit. We had Was it Junk Sick?
Yeah.
It was Junk Sick, right?
Yep.
And you know,
We
I gotta say,
renamed it,
Broken Valley. I love Broken Valley anyway, and there's just some really, really rude little tunes on there, and that was one of them. So Joey kind of like, we ripped that out, and then Joey went back into his archives and wrote some new riffs.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It was fun also to write for the scene with my dad, because I was able to connect my emotions to the music I wrote for those scenes.
That's like I said, that scene, you know, my notes, that scene was done very well, and it really resonates for the viewer, you know.
Awesome, yeah.
Absolutely.
Can I? I want to answer this one for you, bro. For you, Lee. What would be a band that Lee would want to make a documentary about, and there is none yet? I got this one. You know, I'd love to make a documentary about Nickelback. If I could do anything, I would do a documentary about Nickelback.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Watch out this year.
Anything can happen.
It's like a Roadrunner multiverse that I'm kind of creating here. It's like my own Marvel. Who's going to be next? It might be I'd love to do Biohazard, I have to say. But
hey, whoa! Stay in your lane, bro. Stay in your lane, bro.
Slow your roll. Slow your roll.
Whoa. Listen, I like the Life of Agony film and all that, but let's not get crazy, bro.
Say something for someone else. You got hot.
Tell you what, you do the Biohazard documentary, I'll do the Nickelback documentary.
Just hands it off.
Yeah, right. We'll are you able to talk about that at all, Lee?
Yeah, I've been working on that for 5 years now, and it's done. It's there. It's finished. They're going through the clearance side now, as well. We're just finishing off the last few bits on there, but. Yeah, it's I'm working with 5 years. It's an interesting one because they're the most polarizing band on the planet. You know, rightly or wrongly, they're a talking point. Everyone's got an opinion on them, so I think that's going to get people talking in itself. But yeah, it's a feature-length film. I even followed them back to their hometown in Hannah to see them in Canada play a gig where they used to play like 25 years ago in the old village hall. So.
Now, Nickelback is from Canada, right?
Yeah, Alberta. The town they're from has got 2,000 people in it, in the middle of nowhere.
Wow.
So, you know, those guys trying to get out of that town, you know, that was quite a feat in itself.
A very interesting band that you hipped me to them, and I looked at a couple things, and really interesting band. Huge, 50 million records. And there's like this incredible blowback on them, you know?
Yeah, man, it's an interesting story. But even Ryan, the guitarist, he helped us out with the film. Like, you know, at the end, he's one of the only executive producers on it.
Nice.
And he came up and he loved the film. You know, he loves the band, and he was behind it. You know, I approached him once and just said, "Look, dude, can you help me out? Because we're about to go into clearance hell here. Do you want to become an exec on it?" And he said yes. straight away, no questions.
What a great world we live in, where there is a Nickelback Life of Agony connection.
A crossover film.
That was super cool of him to come in like that and support.
It really was. He's such a lovely guy.
Come on now, artists are universal, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, we cross-pollinate. You know, if you're a true artist, you know, you have love for other artists. It's not like, you know. Of course. Andrew asks, we know about the sad, emotional parts of the film. What were your happy, energetic parts, Joey?
Yeah, I think it goes back to like even reminiscing on that first Dynamo Festival, which was one of the most important and fun days of my life. Just getting
and that was 94?
Yes, you nailed it. 94. That was the first one we played with Danzig that day. And wow, that was just a day in my life that every time anything I see or talk about that day, it just makes me happy. So, and also honestly, it's seeing us as we progress as people and as we became more of who we are today. It's a happy feeling to me to look at the film and see what we've accomplished as a band and see how we've helped people. There's some beautiful moments in the film, Lee. You could, you know, where we connect with the fans, like we connect with people who have been saved by Life of Agony. Those are, although those are emotional moments, those are happy moments for us.
And Stefan as well, being carried across in his wheelchair.
Yeah,
exactly.
that was wild.
Huge.
One of the things that makes me smile is seeing my daughter with Joey's daughters.
Yeah, of
all
course.
together, you know, just having that on film forever is just really special.
Yeah, and obviously we still do that and look forward to this summer again.
Yeah.
All hang.
You know, not to get back into the Nickelback thing, but this is true. I've always Matt Sandy says I've always said that Nickelback's success on Roadrunner helped fund the contracts that Roadrunner gave bands like Opeth and Within Temptation in 2005.
Sure
I believe this is true, right, Lee?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Monty Connor testifies to it. Cool thing is, we shot Monty for obviously for this doc, but he's in the Nickelback doc as well. So Monty Connor is
you got a twofer.
Yeah, he's in two of them. And yeah, he basically said the same thing. He said, you know, Nickelback get a bad rep, but you know, it was them that helped keep the lights on at Roadrunner. It enabled us to continue doing the good work and signing all these bands and giving these new bands at least a life. And you know, so for people to kind of just endlessly dump on them, you know, is not reflective of reality. But then not many things on the internet are, and I think they were the first whipping boys on the internet, right? So before they came along, there was no real internet chat room. So if you wanted your opinion voiced, you had to send your letter in to a magazine, yeah, and then you might get it read out in the editor's page.
Sure.
Not like now where it's like stream of consciousness. So yeah, I just think they got it first, and they got it quite hard, and it stuck.
Yep. Yeah, I've been trying to get Monty Connor on the show forever, but he just, you know, he's got some trepidation coming on the show. But we'll sort it out. Hey, Alan, our hardcore resident asked, did you ever write graffiti? You know, and what are you drawing these days? I think you kind of answered that.
The first year I was in the High School of Art and Design, I dabbled in some graffiti, but only in the books. I never painted up a wall or anything, but I would get, you know, probably secondhand high off of the fumes of the markers. That was about it. You know, the design markers that would just, you could smell them a mile away.
Did you guys do something for L'Amour as well, right? You did some.
Yeah. Alan and I.
I wouldn't call that graffiti. I mean, we were hired to like paint L'Amour's murals all over the place.
Wow.
And two overnights.
Who painted the thing in Fastlane?
Joey.
I did that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that? I just remembered that.
Thank you.
I just, right? Fastlane, right? You go at the top, right?
Alan and I went to school together our whole lives. I'm an artist myself, although I don't put too much artwork out there. I kind of just predominantly, obviously, stick with the music all the time. But I paint and draw and everything on my own. I continue to do that still to this day. But I have yet to make my art public. Maybe I will one day, maybe I won't, but no plan. But yeah, Alan and I have done a lot together. We went to art school together. Alan was always in illustration. I did more like fine arts, which is more oil painting and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, we did some cool stuff together at Lemore's, the Lemore's murals. Al, what about the story when we went to go get paid and they were like, "You get paid?"
What?
Hey, what do you guys mean?
We had to have a sit down.
We had
Man, I saw some. Oh God, those guys. Oh, they ran some routines. I saw some deplorable, really despicable, deplorable promoter behavior, man, that I'll never forget.
Well, listen, we won't sit on here and talk about that. Listen, let's leave that where it is, Drew. You know what I mean?
I know, man. We're not going to get into it.
The past is the past, right?
Yeah, the past is the past. Yeah, for some reason it flashed in my head, Joey. The fast lane, and at the bottom it had signed Joey.
Yeah, the logo. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Is that LOA wine on the table behind Lee?
Yes.
Yeah. It's probably like mud now, though. 2010.
Probably vinegar.
Oh wow, it's 12 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's actually good wine, man. It's actually good wine.
What was that limited? Was that a limited run?
Yeah, friends of ours put something together. Our friend Mondo Pagnozzi, Ramon. He shout out to Mondo. He's not watching.
Yeah, I got that from Mondo.
Yeah,
He made that in the grappa, right?
Yeah, actually, it was homemade wine. That was actually very, very good wine because it came from his family, and they were winemakers. And if you pop open that bottle, pop it open over a nice pasta meal or something.
Maybe when the Blu-ray comes out, you open it up.
Well, that might be very soon then. In that case, I don't know, man. There's something mysterious about just, I've thought about what this tastes like, what it smells like, what the tannins are like.
It's like
once you've opened it. It's done.
It's over.
Like the Lost Ark, you might have souls coming up.
I'm impressed you've kept it 12 years,
Well, I didn't. I've had this about 3 years now.
Oh, okay.
It's had quite the journey. This has. It will continue. It looks brand new, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. It looks great.
Mass Sanity says, the members of Life of Agony are very creative. Mina's been posting a lot of paintings lately. Veronica's musical creations with household objects and bags of chips are amazing.
Yeah, she is amazing.
Yo, that shit is. I had her on the show.
She's unbelievable. The stuff Veronica could do with just objects.
Yo, I gotta say, she's a great drummer, man. She's a hell of a drummer, man.
He has a great personality, and that also really, helps, with our band. Is just she fits in really well. She gels with us, and gels with us on stage as well. She's very tight drummer, technically tight. And
it seems like you have a nice balance in the band now.
Yeah,
and you didn't have that for a minute. And now you have like this great balance now. So that's
it's nice to have this balance now, this feeling. We get up there. It seems like just a celebration every time we get to play just together, especially after the last 2.5 friggin' years. Even when we play rehearsal, it feels amazing. We play like we're playing in front of 2,000 people in my basement here in the studio. I have the studio here. We rehearse right here in my house. But it's great.
Raban777, I've said it here before. LOA in Leeds in 2019, most energetic, chaotic crowd I've been in for 30 years.
Hell yeah. Doyle opened that show, right? Raban?
Yeah.
Is that the name, Raban? I think Doyle opened that.
Yeah, that was crazy. The Social Club. It's where the guy dived. He dived and cracked his head, didn't he?
Yeah, a guy put his head open at that show, and stopped the show.
Yeah, Darren asks, and we might have just answered that because I know you just toured with Doyle, and I know Alan, that must have been pretty cool. And I know you've toured with Billy, but what was the one band you loved to tour with and why, Joey?
I think that there's a number of bands. I mean, of course, Ozzy Osbourne those were such memorable tours for us growing up listening to Ozzy, and then getting to play every night with Ozzy Osbourne was almost like living in a dream. Growing up on Black Sabbath, and then, you know, getting to just watch Ozzy every night after you're done playing, get up on the same stage you just played on and do his thing. It's incredible, man. And you know, so I got to say, for me, those Ozzy tours were just hard to beat. Hard to beat.
Yeah.
Alan, any take on that?
Yeah, I think just the whole Ozfest. Like we played with Ozzy in like '95 with Korn on the arena tour, but then we did the Ozfest '98, and we shared the stage with System of a Down, Incubus, Motorhead headlined every night, and we'd literally come off the bus every day and see Lemmy in a green G-string
Speedos
outside of his bus. You know, like it was surreal. It was absolutely surreal.
Incredible.
Yeah, that guy had knew how to tour, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Paulie says, I saw Life in 1993. I saw Life of Agony open for Overkill twice.
Yeah.
Once at Lemoore in Brooklyn, and once at the Limelight in New York City. You've talked about Lemoore. Any memories of the Limelight rock and roll church?
Yeah.
I didn't realize you guys. I didn't realize you guys played there a couple of times.
Yeah, we did. That was, first of all, loved the Limelight. You know, whether you're hanging there playing, it just had a great sound and a great vibe. All those cool little rooms you could sneak into, see what's going on behind the scenes. Yeah, but the sound in the Limelight, you could account for this. The sound on stage at the Limelight, the sound in the venue was huge. It was like massive sound at that venue.
The stage was super high. I remember getting closer to the edge, feeling like I was going to fall off. And you never know, you're just going to sink into the abyss. But it was always a great vibe. We would go on super late, I remember. Like shows started at like 10:30.
Yeah. We go on at midnight. I think we went on at midnight once.
Wait, we played Antidote played the Limelight. We played the Limelight
awesome
15 times, man. You know,
we played a handful, maybe 2-3 times, I think.
Here's a shot of that stage the stage you're talking about, and back in the Antidote rock days. But it was a great stage. You know, there I am hanging all over the guitar player. And when I had long hair, but you know, the stage was up really high, you know.
Yeah,
that's a whole. I don't think that's ever been seen. An old Limelight shot, you know.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, we played it. We played it like 15 times. That place was great. It was like all these rooms and
it's cool.
Saw some great shows there too. You know, I saw like some great shows and some great jams. I saw there like some late night Sunday jams. You know. Let me see what else we got as we it was always a good show there. Yep. Is that right? This is interesting. I did not know that. Josh Silver and Evan Seinfeld are credited as producers on the LOA demo Death on the BMT. Any memories?
Well, it was really Evan who introduced us to Josh.
Oh, wow.
To even do the first demo. So Evan actually does a scream over the intro on the demo.
Wow.
And for some reason the intro is listed last on the track listing. We're the only band to put the intro after all the songs. But it was because of Evan that we even got introduced to Josh, and then through Josh we ended up getting managed by Ken Creedy, who managed Typo Negative, and between the two of them, they convinced Monty to sign us to Roadrunner.
And then you know, you guys went and signed the sort of standard, you know, sign your ass away, cross collateralized with Blue Grape, fucking you know,
we signed it,
record merch deal. You Madball, you know, Fear, like like.
That was the model, though, at the time. That was the model, you know. So you just see that it was cool. We got a chance to do. Look what we were able to do. So, honestly, and I said this before, every label after Roadrunner really fucking sucked. I thought Roadrunner, if anyone, did it right.
Interesting.
Honestly, and
they gave us free total control. You know, creative freedom.
You know, I've always said this, you know, and to bands that when I was in the management game, and still, you know, everybody signed that shitty contract. What matters is who hangs in there, works through it, and goes to the next level.
Right.
Metallica signed the shitty contract.
Everyone
Everybody
does.
signs the that first shitty contract. What matters is who stays in it, who works through it, and who gets to the next level.
Yeah.
If you achieve any kind of success, there's a chance to renegotiate. But I think that the contracts that they're offering young bands now are even worse because these 360 deals that take portions of tour merchandise and tour guarantees. I don't know how anyone survives.
I don't know how you could even how you could do anything with a band, you know, like with something like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because for all the sort of griping about the old system, at least there was a system and there was an infrastructure. And even that, you know, much maligned infrastructure, you know, it doesn't really exist anymore. So, you know, what happens when the dinosaurs die out? You know, like new bands, you know, people would.
It's happening.
Yeah, it's happening.
It's happening. Look at all these artists that have fallen. Look, just the other day, Black Dahlia murder. That poor guy. You know, every it seems like every week we hear about 2 artists that are gone. That important people.
Yeah.
You know, that are just poof, gone.
Have to shout out Michael Gibbons from Leeway. Of course, signed the all-time shitty record deal with Profile Records.
Hey, Mike, how you feeling, man? I hope
we love you, Mike.
Well,
Thanks for the support,
better.
You know? Mike, of course, played on Desperate Measures and on I'm blanking. Desperate Measures and help me, somebody.
Want to Expire?
Thank you.
Oh man, we used to crank that record all
that's one of my favorite records.
Those two records are great. And talk about Ozzy. I remember hearing Desperate Measures and thinking, wow, Eddie Sutton, man, he sounds like Ozzy this sounds fucking great.
Awesome.
You know? Yeah, Michael, we're wishing you the best, buddy. You know? Yep. Let's see, Kevin Haggerty. Why don't bands book their own tours and fuck Live Nation? Because it's impossible.
It's
how's that? Because it's impossible.
It's like the mob. Either you cooperate.
Even Pearl Jam went under the thumb. You know, after a while. Okay. Oh, this is okay. Chucky Brown. I was just thinking about you, Chucky, and I'm glad you chimed in. Chucky asks. Nirvana played in New York on 11/14/93, and LOA played the same night at Wetlands. Best believe I went to see LOA. On that same night, guitarist Sean Kilkenny played the song This Time with them.
That's correct.
Yep.
Correct info.
That is correct.
That is correct.
All right.
Show him his prize.
No, really. That was Sean. That was Sean's dream. Like, he would tell us all the time, I got to come up and play a song with you guys one day. And that was the first time he got to play with us, Al. That was that very first time.
His SG there.
We talked about this, I know. But Heggs, one of our beloved supporters, do either of you remember how playing a strip club in Keansburg came about?
Faces, I don't think it was a strip club, though. Was it a strip club, Faces, on nights bands didn't play there? I didn't know that, actually.
Was that your first show?
First show ever, February 11th, 1990. We played Faces in Keansburg, New Jersey. Yeah. And maybe on off nights, maybe he knows something that we don't, but new, because I know that venue doesn't exist. It's something else now, but yeah, I didn't even know if it was it a strip club, that place?
Hey, Lee, let's bring it back to you in the film. Would you ever consider a small UK tour discussing the film, your approach, influences, etc.? I'd buy a ticket.
Oh, nice one. Thank you. No, we never secured theatrical for it for many reasons. I mean, again, going back to the cost and everything. So, and at that time, theatrical didn't really look realistic because we're in the middle of COVID as well. So it seemed like an expense that wasn't going to get repaid. So I'm not allowed to, which is rubbish. I can take it to non-theatrical venues, but nothing, nothing in cinemas or anything like that. But yeah, probably not. Happy to answer any questions though.
Yeah, right. I'm available to field.
Yeah.
Joey, I know this is tough to answer. You know, you can answer this, but give us a favorite. Give us a favorite riff or two.
Woo! Man, I mean, obviously we're going to go straight back to the River Runs Red album. Underground always is one of my favorite songs to play live. There's a lot of hunk going on in that song. That's probably up there, of course, through and through. And the song River Runs Red itself, they're just intense parts. I'm a big fan of intense music. That's my favorite music to play. The harder it is, the more it drives me, the more I love it. Meaning like the more it makes you want to bash the person next to you, that's what makes me happy.
It's a great shot, that, Terry. Great shot.
That is a great shot.
You know who blows my mind with music like that is Michael Alago. I'll be like, what is this? And he just his love for intense music.
Yeah.
I can't bear it for more than 20 seconds, and he just relishes in it. And I'm like, make it stop, you know.
Oh yeah, man.
He loves really extreme music. I got to give it to him, you know.
Shout out to Michael. Shout out to Michael Lago.
Shout out to Michael Lago, man. We went to the bowl yesterday.
Oh, you went together? That's cool.
Yeah. Well, I met him out. I drove him home with my girlfriend, and
cool.
Yeah, he just recovered from COVID, and but he loves heavy and hard music, you know.
Absolutely.
So that's that. I want to say, as we're winding down here, the documentary is The Sound of Scars, a film by Lee Brooks. And it is out now. It's on multiple streaming sites, including Amazon. And look for the DVD Blu-ray. When is that coming out, Lee?
June 14th, I think.
Okay, cool. Lee, anybody you want to shout out? Anybody you want to thank regarding the film or moving forward to the future?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, definitely want to thank, the band for having me and putting that delicate story in my hands and trusting me with it, because it just meant everything, and just have the faith of the band, in me to actually see it through. Is massive.
You right back.
Yeah. So thank you. And then Lynch, I'd say, my DOP, who was just incredible. He came out and put some cash into it as well and give us his time to go and shoot it because he loved it. He was there right from the start. So yeah, all big props to Lynch. I wouldn't have been able to get it done without him. And then my Mrs. Sherry, because she's probably seen the film every cut. There is cut 1 to cut 45. I reckon she still would sit there watching it like it's the first time she's seen it. So yeah, definitely a few people there.
Good. And when next time you come to New York, you let me know.
Yeah, I'd love to meet up, man. Thank you.
We'll go to the diner.
Definitely.
I don't know if it's possible, but it would be great to see a collab project between the two of you direct something together.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
There you go. I'm throwing it out there. I'm throwing
I'm down with that. Definitely. Let's do it, Drew.
I'm a talk show host now. Like I'm
yeah, vanity projects are out the window now, I think.
Well, you do it well, Drew. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, and I love it, and I enjoy it, and I appreciate you guys being a part of it. And music and filmmaking. I could speak on the film thing now. Is that I have a new film that's out, and I'm going down to DC on Tuesday. It's part of a film of the J by J Film Festival, and I guess in a lot of ways, and it's just art in general. Is like this film had a very difficult birthing because of the the pandemic and everything, and
Sure.
I not that I didn't have high hopes for it, but I have the hopes for it like I have everything, and wouldn't you know it, people are super excited, and distributors are fighting, sort of over, and we're getting a whole bunch of offers in. And it just goes to show with art, right? You make the art, you put it out there, and you just don't know how it's going to go and what's going to happen.
I could relate to you, Drew, in that sense with the film world, because I just kind of broke into it myself. I did the all the post work with the audio for Sound of Scars, and now I just did another film called Brightwood, which is coming out soon.
Oh, nice.
Here at my studio, and I just got another film that came to me on the table. It's called Americond, which is going to be a bigger film. It looks like, and I'm doing all the post work for that. So now I'm expanding in that world, and it's exciting to me to be in this world now and to get, start getting my traction going with the film world. It's kind of cool.
It's fun. That's great to be doing different stuff like that and getting out there and expanding. I mean, that's what it's about in the world right now, right? I mean, you have to be multifaceted, Alan, right? A musician, comic books, coloring books,
NFTs,
NFT, monster shoppers.
Did you see the show I did with Caves, Alan?
Yeah, I loved it.
Wow, talk about being, with the NFT thing. My dad's all hopped up on the NFT thing, and with my brother, and it's I'm still trying to wrap my head around.
You thought the music business was crazy.
I'm trying to get us in.
Forget it.
Hey, Alan, question here. What's your favorite all-time horror franchise?
Evil Dead.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
a little something different. Thank you.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
That's good. Anybody you want to shout out, Alan? Thank? Anything like that?
I'd like to thank Lee. This whole project wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for his never-ending passion for what he does best, is making films and just being one of the family, in making this film and seeing it through, because like you said, you put art out there and you don't know where it's going to go, and thankfully it found a home, and it's out in the world now. There was a point in time that we didn't know if that was possible, and here we are. So thank you, Lee, man.
Same with me. I thank Lee so much for being able to, get us that comfortable to get these stories and everything out of us the way he was able to do. And thank you, because it's authentic. And the way it comes across is proper. And we could have only achieved that through your persistence and your love for us, individually and collectively,
Thank you.
And then one other thing was when we started this project, we didn't know what it was going to end up to be. And it was like with every interview that happened, it was kind of like peeling away the onion and really finding our way organically what the narrative of the film was going to be. And we knew from the get-go that we didn't want it to just be a rock doc, we didn't want that type of film, and I think we achieved that.
It's like we talked about earlier, me and Lee, is that films, what's important when you make a film is what's the bigger picture. Sure, we can make a film about this band, but what's the bigger picture? And the bigger picture of this film really comes through, and that's what that's why a film like this is able to transcend to the next level, because it there's a bigger picture to it, And Lee, good for you, man. As somebody who loved the band's music and was a fan of the band and the music. Who better to make a film like this and execute his vision than you? So I commend you, man. That's fantastic.
Hey, Lee, and I'm sorry, Drew. I know it's very cliche to say, but do gotta acknowledge every single person that supported Life of Agony over the years. It's so cliche to say it, but it's another thing to actually mean it. This band, out of all bands, I'll tell you right now, we mean it when we say we appreciate every one of the people who come to our shows, get the records and, check out our stuff, films, this, that, everything. Like, without them, you really cannot do anything. It's nothing.
Sure.
So I know it's cliche to say it, but I gotta say it because we really mean it as a band. Like, they're everything to us, our peeps.
And you have great fans, man. You have very passionate fans that really love the band, man. I mean, it's interesting. it's interesting. Biohazard had fans like that. Typo Negative had fans like that. Life of Agony has
Agnostic
fans like
Front
that.
has fans like that.
Yeah.
Sick with all. These are real.
Yeah.
It's New York, man. I don't know what's going on. It's in the water, like they say. It's in the water.
Yeah. That said, everybody out there, I want to just one more time. Life of Agony is going out on the road. There's a bunch of shows in the States in May and in early June, including the Bastion of New Jersey back in Debonair Music Hall in Teaneck. I might have to. That's like my spot. I might have to come out there again to see.
I have to repeat.
That's like you guys are like frequent flyers in that joint.
Yeah.
And also, I see you're playing Warsaw with Dog Eat Dog, right?
Yep.
And
Brooklyn.
and then Warsaw and Brooklyn. Listen, I came for the music, but stayed for the pierogies, man. They got good grub in that joint. And then you're going to Europe, a whole bunch of festivals. It is festival season again, and I know you guys really shine on those big stages, man. So that's really awesome. I want to thank all you guys for coming on the show. Always a pleasure. I was looking forward to it. I knew it was going to be an enjoyable, non-stressful environment. So I thank you so much for it.
Thank you so much, Drew. Really.
All right. Let's keep in touch, and I'll reach out. Hopefully I can come out and see you guys. All right.
We'll see you soon. Thank you.
I'll see you, Joey. Al, I'll see you. Take care, man. And Lee, my, we're kindred spirits, man. So let's keep in touch, man. Take care.
Man, honestly, it's been a pleasure, Drew. It's been lovely to talk to you, and thank you.
It's been my honor. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Well, there you go. This was the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. This is what we do. Do great stuff here, man. And you're a part of it. Seriously. Hey, I got to shout out Organic Grill. They're moving to 133 3rd Street. I saw Vlad actually at the Bowl yesterday. Yo, Vlad from Organic Grill, he was at the Bowl. Told me he's never seen Agnostic Front. So Vlad was at the Bowl yesterday. He finally got to see Agnostic Front. Yo, I want to shout out Larry Kelly, who's at the Bowl right now. And that said, go Rangers. Big Ranger game tonight. So game 7, I'm staying home to watch that. Yes, it was a great show. Great show. Thank you, D. It was hey, yo, Drew, you ever filmed on actual film? You bet your ass I have. I grew up in and around the film business, man. All those videos we did were all shot on film. Onyx Slam, Run DMC, Ooh, What You Gonna Do, Typo Negative, Black Number One, the 5 Biohazard videos we did, they were all shot on 16 millimeter film. I stopped making music videos when they were when they weren't shot on film anymore. I mean, I come back and do them every once in a while now, but my run was on 16 millimeter film. This show was on point. The technical upgrade was worth it. All right. Cheers from Brazil. What's happening in Brazil? Murillo? I got to get my ass back to Brazil, man. You missed the whole show. Go back and watch it. It was really good. A really good show. The Zlick. Andrea Katz, Long Island represent. Yo, Heggs, where were you yesterday? You didn't go to the Bowl? What you doing, man? Joe Frank, thank you. Kenny Clark. My old friend Kenny Clark. I don't listen to hardcore, but really enjoyed this show. You guys are awesome. Real deal. Love it. Good. Yeah, man. Good to see you out there, Kenny. Chucky Brown, thank you, bro. All right. That said, like I said, this is crazy. This is going to be the longest amount of time that I haven't done a show. This Wednesday, I'm down in Washington, D.C. screening my new film. Sunday is the Bowery Electric show with Ludacris. We will be back a week from Wednesday with the Kohlers. So we will see you then. Thanks a lot. Until then, do good things and good things will come to you.